Joined by Titi on the heels of yet another record-shattering performance this weekend at the USC Open. He goes 20 flat in the 200 meters. That's a new South Carolina school record. That's also the fastest time in the NCAA this season and the third fastest time in the world. It's the third time, Titi, that you've been on top of an NCAA leaderboard. And whether we're talking indoors or outdoors, it was obviously a big PR for you as well. Leading into that race, I know it had been a couple weeks since you'd run a 200 competitively before. Leading into that race, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, as you're stretching out, getting loose, did you feel like you had a big number in you?
It was actually, yeah, like the race was just a blessing because I had run the 100 meters earlier that day and I had caught a cramp, and it's just been a tough couple weeks. And so yeah, in the 100 meters I ran it earlier and I caught a cramp around the 30-meter mark in my left calf, and told the coaching staff about it, and we were just like, hey, I'm not sure if we should run. But we were just, decided to just kind of, just before the 200, just go through a couple stride outs, and did that, and I felt a little better. And it's just, it's just a blessing because it almost didn't happen. And so I'm just really grateful that we made that decision to run the race.
Incredible hearing that you almost didn't run it. And I know a lot of times, even if you don't struggle through the 100, a lot of times you don't run the 100 and the 200 in the same day, especially in the regular season. But that is something you're going to have to do when we get to postseason, whether it's running the 100 and 200 in the same day or running in back-to-back days from prelims to finals. To be able to post that kind of performance on the heels of already running the 100 and, like you said, already catching a cramp, what kind of confidence does that give you that when you get to postseason, you can stack those big times together back-to-back?
Yeah, it definitely gives me confidence going into the postseason, things like SECs and NCAAs, because, I've been able to run very fast in difficult times, so I think when I'm well rested and, everything, my body's doing a lot better during NCAAs and SECs, I should be able to deliver even better performances than the performance on Saturday. So that's the goal.
It seems like throughout your career, at least the last couple of years, as I've followed you closely, that you've had big time drops at one time, and then you kind of hover at that spot for a month, 2 months, and then all of a sudden here's another big time drop, and then that's kind of the new normal for you is hanging out in that new range. I know at the beginning of 2017, you were more in the 2060, 2070 range, and now here we are at 20 flat. What do you have to do to maintain that kind of level as we ramp it up into postseason? And then assuming that you might need one more drop if you're going to stand on top of the podium at NCAAs, what do you work on over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks to make sure that that comes at the right time?
I think we just need to touch on every aspect of the race, things like speed, speed endurance. We just need to make sure that we consistent at practice at that level, and if you're able to do that at practice, combined with rest at the championship or at the meet, you should be able to, like you said, have another drop, and yeah, that's what we're hoping will happen.
I mentioned earlier it's the third time in your career that at the end of a week that you've helmed the NCAA leaderboard. It happened last year outdoors, obviously, when you were in 2014 at home. Happened indoors this year after your big time at Clemson, second or third meet of the year. And now, again, you're number one in the country heading into this weekend's competition in the 200 meters. Does that... what's the feeling of knowing that there's so many different elite sprinters in the country at Houston, at Southern Cal, at Arkansas, at Tennessee, and at least for the time being, that you're at that top of the list?
I think in my time here in the NCAA, I've grown to realize that there's so much talent here in the NCAA, and so being at the top of the leaderboard, for me it doesn't get to my head. I don't really take it seriously because I know that the next week someone might match that or run even better. So it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you humbled, because we really have some great athletes in the NCAA. So you need to stay working and just keep trying to get better.
Outdoors, both of your two biggest career times have come at Kreger Track. What kind of a blessing has that facility been for you the last couple of years? Not only a fast track that you've been able to put some good times down on, but also a place, a consistent world-class facility for you to train at on a daily basis.
Oh man, it's that's a big one. The track has just been, very, very big for us. I don't know if other athletes realize, but I certainly realized when it was built. And Coach Fry mentions how it's second to Rio, or I wouldn't even say second to Rio, but there's the only track that's like it is the Rio track.
Sure.
So to have that type of facility, it's something that I've taken into consideration, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to train on that track every day, and also, more importantly, compete on that track. It's just it's a wonderful facility, and it makes me excited to train every day. And just, yeah, as you can see, the track provides the results for you.
Last one for you. We're headed up to Penn Relays this weekend, final regular season meet of the year before the postseason really gets rolling. Also, kind of a unique event in that not a ton of individual stuff going on, at least for you guys in the sprint group, but it's all different relay races and a 4x1, 4x2, sprint medley relay. A lot of different opportunities for you guys to get out there and pass the stick. Is it fun to run in a meet like that where it's almost entirely, and for you, is entirely a team competition? And how can that help you guys fine-tune that 4x1 and that 4x4 as you guys get ready to run at conference and nationals?
Penn Relays. Every year we go. It's such a special event, and I'm definitely grateful that we go. A lot of schools have decided not to go, but yet we've still managed to show up there every year. And going to Penn Relays is always very exciting because there's just the atmosphere. Everyone there, and so many people come come watch, and it is just one of those atmospheres that make you perform. And so with our 4x1 team and our 4x2, I think we're just going to take in the moment and appreciate the crowd, and I think that will inspire us and motivate us to get some good exchanges, and hopefully run faster and have a good time that we can use to go to regionals, and hopefully regionals turns to NCAAs.
There you go. So you're looking at him, I won't say new school record holder in the 200 meters because he already held it, but the new and improved school record holder in the 200, Titi, running 20 flat last weekend and now headed to Penn Relays this weekend. Buddy, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.